Answer nebeko in the story so no mesre nyanso na tie me. And the Ghana for bebre yare a ekuyen eye stroke, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Na saa yare we ni na no. The underlying factor eye ade a wo broni friend visceral fat. Now her screen is so a we eye doctor a website. Now what trust say visceral fat. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, creating inflammation and interfering with organ function. This fat causes a big belly. Now one thing about visceral fat and it's engrofo Rebecca, oh yebenu me bibidru ebema yefu atwe yebenu medru ebema mefu atwe visceral fat no oboa obi obeka dozo we dro bia obenum na wefu atwe no oboa because belly fat no edro bia ni ho ebetumi amana akofom. You only lose belly fat when you decide to lose weight. Na me ti he me obi a na first me obi belly fat no na me obi visceral fat no na me obi ena ende mini ohwa mefu atwe na enyama me ye no eye method bi a me friend no the WWE method. Me dia throw book no comment box ni mo so open book ni bi ato a eno ane se wa click comment box ni mo na tre se what to book no ana screen so book ni din eye your action plan for weight loss na wa click na wa pe book no ato ye ka eduro eye duane a yedi obi a wo be ka tro so ye pe eduro be ma yefu atwe bia no me se oboa mesrew eduro ye duane ebedi nti metre we duane a obedi ni na wo book nim ene nyama e wo se wo ye nti no get the book and then live healthy. Yanko in the story so I have two huge stories for you. I'm going to tell you the effect it's going to have on goods and services in this country. And there, over social media, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Nidin trending. Now, the first story, and it says His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Amagana Fati, as you say, Wama Parliament order, or the Aquacoto Parliament in him, say, ports. Ghana Ports and Harbors Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority and Harbors Authority. Is that the name? Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority. And I'm saying, me be very careful because my friend me correcting me pronunciation in Samson you too much. It in I say be very careful na me west. Now Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority. That's the name. Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama directive about the Aquacoto Parliament in him. Na asemo a work can say charges be a year charge Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority no charges be a year charge no omunyin free ho. Unse charges ni bi under MPP NM say ye de call parliament inti ye mra untumi sorry enyin free ho keke. I just saw the call parliament, na parliament yi start charges ne free. Inti no that's that. As the President Mahama moves to scrap illegal port charges, demands parliamentary approval for all fees. Inti basically no, that's what's going to happen at the port, and this is obviously going to have a positive effect on goods and services. Onim say dollar rate na ba form no, ama duty akofom. Some of the taxes His Excellency John Dramani Mahama levy and the likes we ye free hono and also am duty in nyama ba form near some so ye charges be fees be a yeje ma nyama ebema nyama eden aba form more, which is good. And Ghana ni first no na Ghana ni talker ebia Corolla ewa abontin a no de ba Ghana wo hwe duty no wotu a enya asem geto and omo talkers ni na be ka tro say duty eso ate fine. Intino ama the Exporters and Importers Association omon sema omo can say this is a good initiative. Ose Mahama's directive to regulate port charges may ease market prices, importers and exporters. So omo say sa de we His Excellency John Dramani Mahama directive ya wodema parliament no ade bia ebeboa e manyama boa kofom. That's all Ghanaians ye pet. Ati asiye se me kokoto gobe na gobe no first na 10 cedis na ende me kona the same gobe ye de ma me 5 cedis a eno an ye pe Ghana for there we don't really ask so much there ye pa no Ain't let me read some comments. That story way Melodies ebusi ni bi wa America and no craft frame e was story way ho. Ati ase wa frame was story way ho say eh ade we ya Mahama be ye de obebo apan em se Ghana fo am wa abrochi am mo import enyama mo de nyama eba sanso de bi ye we no em se mo nso e ade a mo ni beje pa mo ye export e wa abrochi ho no ba beji no Ghana ha se no e ade a mo nso mo ni beje pa nti no no. Now let's read comments and see what Ghanaians are saying, and then we move to the second good story today. I'll say God bless Mahama's presidency. Obi no. Obi say Mahama be eye red rough. He wants us to beg him to do third term. Ghana no, and then we papa ba ko wa bruchi America friend me a work and same way at me. See ade we dey Mahama ba ye be force say until so 20 years old. And Ghana say Mr. Mahama wonko biom. I said I been fair no dey anya about ono ye na yesi onko me say Mahama wonko. Na me catch them crofo say Mahama wonko a enye say bia me de me pe yes me pen say me pe say Mahama be ko biom. Aside that no say me catch them say Mahama wonko. I am speaking from Mahama na ni fie. I am speaking from Mahama ni fie. Ati ase. Aha. Me ka say fi ono ankasa ni fie. Yes, ye man nko ne fie se wo kosroba form on wabre tenase je wa home onko enti no that's what I'm telling you based on one or two bi amate onko enti mo amo MPP for mo e de ye campaign na no omo ni begu ase o say are you not the one that misinformed us with nationwide doom so have you apologized? Nationwide doom so na amba MPP for. Obi say I thought Mahama sold the port in 2013. Oh yes, you see in MPP time, sa ko de yere mu enso e for le for sa jandam no. E mo yese wo mo baba be yiso etia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Say Mahama wa ton Ghana ports. Inti ene no obi ka say hey enye MPP for na ka say Mahama wa ton Ghana port. Embra MPP time ye ka trom say wo mo nte fees ni so no omo ka ten say Mahama wa ton ports no wa ton habo into omo ntumi nte so ene Mahama buy no ubehu yeti krom ha MPP for beka say Mahama wa ton habo ni ntia no no pe na tumi te so no de yeti krom ha o de ubehu asem we amake mo fansan baby amu de mo behu MPP for the beya asem aka say o say wa ton habo ni into ton habo ni ntia no tu o de yeti krom ha o betin kwase asem wo krom ha into no basically that's that. Obi say, what stopped Akufo-Addo from doing all this? What power does Mahama have now that Akufo-Addo didn't? This is serious. MPP has really disappointed us. This was all we were looking for in his 8 years rule, but he refused to listen. Pride comes before fall indeed. Into Obi asemo what can I say? Into nyama we ni nano. At the end, stop Akufo-Addo from doing it. No de hu ade we say e very serious. E serious pa. E ba ne say na Mahama to me ya Akufo-Addo went to me anye. This is what this person is saying. Obi say 1 billion more years for Mahama. That's that. Now, that's the first story. Now let's go to the second and also good news and then me who say Ghana for bebre na no say mo kasa fa o say President Mahama scraps fuel allowance stroke allocation to appointees. As the President John Dramani Mahama has, effective immediately, directed the cancellation of payment of fuel allowance and allocation of fuel to all political appointees. Also, the directive forms part of a broader curb in government expenditure aimed at cutting costs and channeling public funds into priority areas. Now, on him say, idea ba kwa na yetaika wa Ghana ha. In fact, the common floor members, some more can say, the politicians, or momuntia fuel ni bi. Entiana, eya no mutum boom 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 sana wa monye hu. Onze ya no asem wa Ghana for. Emse na nse yeka se doom so levy ikra no. Asem wa na drivers ni bi ikano no. Omuntia, into omo de to so wa monye hu, ene dien, and indeed, most of them no munya coupon. And I'm going to speak from a perspective of someone who analyzes the Ghanaian stock exchange, right? I'm going to speak on that perspective and you understand. Now, coupon. Ebi mu coupon the crown de ma omo yere nom omo. I mean, for me it's not really a problem. Say ye the ama government official coupon. Na ebi awonu ni coupon or the ama ne yere say ne yere yusu in the government car. Well, maybe issues and all that, but at ya say idea for me I think say and it's not really out of the reach say nipa be engrofo ye. Inti because they get free coupons ninti no. They don't buy fuel. At ya say into His Excellency John Dramani Mahama taking this action, ebeboa ma womunso feel Ghana for at least the first thing is the feeling. Ghana for be who say, oh, yeni muni na neto. Into yeni muni na neto, the asan ya ube tumu atumwe. See yeni on neto. Into ube tumu atum. First no, ne ye pen yeto wo unto. Into tumu awonye ho. And then yeni muni na neto. Into ya kosra wonso di ebe kosra. Into ube tumu atum. Into that perception alone no. Ghana for bought His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Baso. Now another advantage, and they say, buama sika na abayisu because allegedly, and this is I am quoting from Stats GH. It is not my quotation. This is coming from Stats GH. Stats GH account via wamu posty statistics. Ghana in Yamaho. Also huge. President Mahama says fuel allowances to government officials is cancelled. Stats GH's calculation puts this as 820 million Ghana cedis in savings per quarter and 15% of relief goal cash flow. Inti Stats GH in some more can say, Sadia we are His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, why no? Ebe save Ghana 820 million every 3 months. That's what they are saying. Don't take my word for it. But this is what a statistic account is saying. Or see, 820 million every 3 months. Ebe save Ghana for. Inti se sika no. Eya de bi asisia no. O hwe letter. Minister responsible for communications no. Government communication. Felix Ofosu kwache debe tu dwa. Or say the latest cost cutting measure follows sweeping reductions in the size of government through the appointment of fewer ministers and presidential office staff. Other measures have included stopping satellite TV subscriptions for offices at the presidency and other government facilities. Into your stop satellite, DSTV subscriptions and so at your sense. And no yejuma wa be mo now person subscribe DSTV afa wa wo pay koko subscribe me use Ghana sika. Into say adie we adie bia ebeboa na o say ye disika no ebe share other areas, priority areas. Into no sa 820 alleged money I see be saving no. It is going to enter different places. At your say adie be den ebeboa. So basically, for me, it looks good. It is good. And I am not the only one saying it. If we read the comments, Ghanaians are jubilating over this action, even though it doesn't look like it is going to have a direct impact on us, but indirectly it's going to have an impact because the money will be channeled into a different sector. Ghana for yebe didi ho. Now, for people who like to invest in the Ghanaian stock exchange, I'm going to tell you, or let's look at a much more deeper benefit you are going to get from this. Because on the Ghanaian stock exchange, one of the stocks are me monitor pa gwel. What you say? Now, if you follow Ewiasini sikeni baako pa your friend Warren Buffett. Say mo follow munim no. Ye ken Ewiase omo sika pa na oka ho bi Warren Buffett. Now, say who follow Warren Buffett ne steps and Warren Buffett will be in him say he made money from the American stock exchange. Now, who follow the steps on how to make money, right? With stocks. Stocks say what's what talk when you one of the rules are okay and say follow stocks that are moot. Or you see where be our friend moot. Now some moot now work no. Or person say companies bia omono ase omuni challenger. Oye bien sa company omu nguda. Inti oba Ghana has a yeka companies a wamuye mute na a bit to say MTN. Oba the energy sector and so a bit to say girl. Now saying the say you say Star Oil ababe 2 girl, but ye can girl no and ye government for edia into money dia we ye akwa say banks GCB. Into companies like that no o man be mu a there is a certain company biasa our company we the idea we are womo no mu dimu. So no Warren Buffett no need say those are the companies you have to invest in. Inti uye Ghana ni now invest our Ghana Stock Exchange. And then if you invest in well, I think say here inti sa story in the you see what it has done. So you see what the story has done, and there's a story in the buy no well stocks no I increase by 2%. Tio, sa story in the buy no girl stocks no increase by 2%. Inti ende obi biara wo kita girl shares ebia wo 1 million Ghana cedis e wo girl shares mo a. Enda ye ka say nipa kroni sika no ababe ende pe no sika wa babe nya e wo sa 1 million Ghana cedis stocks ne so no eye essence 20,000, right? Say 2%. Inti ende 20,000. And let me show you. I am taking you deeper so you understand just a simple, it looks like a simple thing that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, why you know, I'm taking you deeper so you understand how it is even going to affect a pensioner. Pensioner was a pensioner. Word ne there. More correcting me words no pensioner ne there me can. Now let me show you, right? Let me show you. Let's go to the stock market. And I'm going to show you something. We are going to do calculation here. So a positive story today, it is having effect on GOIL. That's what I wanted to show you. 2% today. GOIL has moved 2% today because of that story we are by. Because it is now relieving them. Once I say 4 coupons nini na no na a GOIL for cow. A GOIL for sika wo munya 15%. Any ye dem ma sa government for you. Inti ende se Mahama council nini na sika na eba back to GOIL. Into GOIL no ebe to me they are expanding. See more filling stations, and then shareholder in GOIL, at least the more they are putting their monies into omo business, no omo shares grow, you get more dividends, and then usika kra now they are shares and until you are getting more money. So you see how just this simple decision His Excellency John Dramani Mahama we take a trickle down ama a normal shareholder be obi to say bia me a GOIL shareholder and a trickle down ama at least menya sike bi kakra what you see that's that. Now let me show you GOIL yanko GOIL no na me ntremo how it is going to have a positive effect on a pensioner at you see. Now let's go to GOIL. Let's go to the Ghana Stock Exchange. Let's look at GOIL. Maybe let me search for it here. I want to show you something. And these are my tools. Yana me use at the check Ghana Stock Exchange. Na me share stocks are be good say or say then. If you are someone, and personally I believe that the Ghana Stock Exchange is not as advanced yet as the American Stock Exchange, but I believe that the Ghana Stock Exchange in the future, maybe in the next 20 years, is going to create a lot of millionaires and billionaires in this country. In the early days, if you are listening to me and want to learn about the Ghana Stock Exchange, there are information outside. You can learn outside. You really have to learn. You really have to learn how to invest in stocks and all that. You really have to learn if you really want to make some money, because real money. And the way Ghana nina usika she pension mu u investi sika bank bank bia say investment ni ya almost sika nini na no baby omode eba Ghana Stock Exchange. If you invest in all those pension schemes and all those things, sika ni no omode ba beto stocks. No mwenya sika pudu nto mwenya pudu na no mo ate kakra ma. And so one kasa hu say na oba invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Sika ni na beba ho ati ase. So it is something worth learning. You really need to. It's not something that easy, but once you learn it and you understand, you can really make money. Anyway, I digress. So listen, into Ghana Stock Exchange, the top shareholders, the government of Ghana. Yeah, by your calculation. And the 2% increment na abano may betrayal the effect it is even having on government and their menokase. So the government of Ghana has 134,123,596 in GWEL. Inti ene GWEL 2% no. Inti ye calculate eye sika aban ende sa decision we I will take keke. Sika aban no ebenya ewo eye GWEL decision way. Not just say ende Ghana aban make a profit of 2 million. Just and the decision way keke 2% increment. No, this is the 2% increment, and the GWEL across by 2%. It is that 2% increment. No, Ghana buying making and the profits 2 million Ghana cedis. Now the next people are also your top shareholders. SNITs. Now SNITs in so they can. Ni nim say pensioners. Ye mame mo ne ye papa no ma omo sika nom and ye de aba top GWEL. Into omo ye shareholders way. They have 97 million shares in GWEL. It is 97 million shares in GWEL no. SNIT for ye bisa say and the 2% increment no. Sika say no be make 2% increment no etre say they will make 1.9 million just today because of that 2% increment. But then again, oh dear, forget about today's 2% increment, right? Forget about it because the market, no, and they say, and then you win, tomorrow you go down, and then you win, tomorrow you go down. Until there's a 2% increment, nigga, forget about it. What I'm saying is, the 15% as starts GHS can 15% of relief GWEL enyano. A extra capital eba back to GWEL. Our mode baba beye juma na a benefited the shareholders. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because yemfane say, oye mami, oye papa, obako school, ati asye, obana woko school no. Yemfane say they be 1,000 cedis. Obani expenses are wodiko school every month. 500 cedis. Obani ba be school na bia afi ono aye na ejuma. Na wan kone ho kra say, uko jisika efri ne ho. One kone ho crowd. Sasa 500 cedis na nanka de bia wo de ma oba every month wo de ma oba no. Sisi ano umfa ma ni biom. Inti at least sika ne be ba ho meboa. Inti sika na ba ho no at least ubetumi nso de aye bibi foforo be boa o. Inti first no na 1,000 cedis so man 500. Na aka wo 500 and na wo live on the 500 no. Sisi we school ono aye na ejuma ono na nyin sika ni sika. Umfa ma ni biom. Inti sisi a onya 1,000 na ni na ye odia. So basically no, it is going to have effect on GWEL, and then once it has effect on GWEL, if you're a shareholder, at the end of every year, say GWEL for eyem puntunjuma na omoba eba be declare omo dividends ebe kosro wa GWEL for shares no ubenya bi share price na nkasa so akosro tisika odi aton nti eye two ways. Sika. And mostly on the Ghana Stock Exchange, that is how you make money. You make money through two ways. Every year, commodity now what no, more extra dividends. Let me just use this as an example to educate people. When you say stock exchange, it's quite cumbersome, but a lot of people want to know, right? So this is how you make money on the stock exchange. Yemfane say let's check for GWEL dividends, right? GWEL for dividends. GWEL dividends 2024. Into GWEL for dividends are almost declared in 2024. And they say per share 0.056. Into with this, right? Let me explain. You find say pensioners for 97 million shares GWEL. Okay. pensioners ewo 97 million shares ewo goelmu. Now, what this means is that, let me explain. What this means is that at the end of the year 2024, share price ye declare of 0.056 per share no. Not just say pensioners at the end of the year no. Sika wo mubenya 5 million as bonus. Into omusika wo de ato shares no eno ewo ho e obi anfa ne nsan kan. Into omubenya 5 million as infaso ansa na sika wo de ato shares no so wo ho. Inti sika wo de ato shares no enyi no. Na sai sika na ebi o de 10 million e na ato. Shares na cost through 2% no. Sa na 10 million no eno nso akosro. Ne 10 million no akosro. Wababa benya 200,000 ewo so because 2% of 10 million saying 2% of 10 million 200,000, right? Yes. Ana ebo amon fanche me. But 2% of 10 million is 200,000. Enti what 10 million shares no and they akos through 2% no. When you sika 200,000 ewo so ende. But at the end of the year no so no, you be declare dividend near the account no. That is why investing in especially the Ghana Stock Exchange is a big deal, especially if you are looking at the long term for 10 years and then 20 years to come. What you say, it's really a big deal. So if you learn it, it will really help you. But basically, I just wanted to explain so people understand. So simple decision where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama we make, how it's going to help people. Muntra your comment box the moment I say.